What if I told you that one of the smartest people in human history was also wrong? A lot. The same man who helped explain gravity, the same man who invented calculus, the same man who changed science forever, also spent years chasing ideas that completely failed. His name was Isaac Newton. And today we're asking a strange question. Most people know Newton because of the famous apple story. Whether the apple actually hit his head or not doesn't really matter. What matters is that Newton asked a question nobody else had seriously answered. Why do things fall down? That question led him to develop the theory of gravity. By his midlife, Newton had become one of the most respected scientists on Earth. People saw him almost like a wizard of mathematics. But here's the funny part. Being a genius didn't stop him from making huge mistakes. One of Newton's biggest obsessions wasn't physics. It was alchemy. If you've never heard of alchemy, imagine chemistry mixed with magic. Alchemists believed they could turn ordinary metals into gold. They also searched for mythical substances that could grant incredible powers. Today, we know these ideas don't work. Yet Newton spent thousands of hours studying them. He filled notebooks with strange symbols, secret codes, and experiments. In fact, Newton wrote more about alchemy than about physics. Imagine if the world's best computer scientist spent half his life searching for dragons. That's how strange this seems today. At first glance, this sounds ridiculous. A genius wasting years on nonsense. But here's the catch. Newton lived in the 1600s. Modern chemistry didn't exist yet. The line between science and magic was still blurry. Many educated people believed alchemy might reveal hidden laws of nature. Newton wasn't being foolish. He was exploring possibilities that hadn't been tested yet. Still, that doesn't mean he was right. Now let's talk about one of Newton's strangest predictions. The end of the world. Yes, the father of modern physics actually tried calculating when civilization might end. Newton spent years studying religious texts. Using his interpretations of biblical prophecies, he estimated that the world would not end before the year 2060. Notice something important. He didn't claim the world would definitely end in 2060, but he believed mathematics and scripture could reveal clues about humanity's future. Today, scientists don't consider these methods reliable, so this prediction is generally viewed as one of Newton's failed ideas. Newton was also wrong about light. He believed light was made entirely of tiny particles. At the time, this seemed reasonable. The problem? Other scientists began finding evidence that light behaved like waves. For years, Newton's enormous reputation caused many people to favor his explanation. Eventually, experiments showed that light behaves in ways that neither theory alone could fully explain. Modern physics tells us light has both particle-like and wave-like properties. Newton got part of the story right, but not the whole story. Ironically, Newton's biggest failure wasn't a specific theory. It was believing he could explain everything. Like many brilliant thinkers, Newton sometimes became too confident in his own conclusions. When people challenged his ideas, he often reacted badly. He argued fiercely with other scientists. He held grudges, and occasionally refused to admit when evidence pointed elsewhere. Even geniuses can become trapped by their own success. Here's where the story becomes really important. Science doesn't progress because people are always correct. Science progresses because people are willing to be wrong. Every failed experiment teaches something. Every incorrect theory eliminates one more bad explanation. Newton's mistakes weren't roadblocks. They were stepping stones. Without them, future scientists might never have discovered better answers. There's a famous quote often attributed to Newton. "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Ironically, future generations did the same thing with him. Scientists corrected his errors, improved his theories, expanded his discoveries, and built modern science on top of his work. His mistakes became part of the foundation. So, was Isaac Newton a fool? Not even close. He was something much more human. A brilliant thinker who got some things spectacularly right and some things spectacularly wrong. His story reminds us of something most people forget. Being intelligent doesn't mean never making mistakes. It means having the courage to explore ideas that might fail. Newton wasn't great because he was always correct. He was great because he kept asking questions nobody else dared to ask. And sometimes, the path to discovering the truth runs straight through being wrong. What's the biggest myth you've ever believed was true? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more surprising stories from science and history. See you in the next video.